Hello again, everybody. So, tonight I'm going to make the most ultimate of all cheap recipes. I'm going to make croquettes. Now, you can make croquettes from any leftover ingredients. Tonight I am using potatoes, a little bit of green onion for flavoring, and some chicken breast. I am going to add to this, well, I already add some salt, probably about a half a tablespoon, and maybe like a teaspoon of black pepper. I'm going to put into this my egg. And now, guys, I promise I literally just washed my hands before I set up the recorder. I am going to take this, and I have potatoes in here that were left over, and I almost want to mash them by hand, if you can imagine them. And then over here, let's slide this over ever so slightly. Sorry, I'm sure that's not fun. I have oil, and I have some Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. And like I said, I already minced everything, but I'm going to kind of just mash it up by hand, because you want this consistency to be almost pasty. And for the croquettes, I have the oven on 350. It's heating up right now. And I am going to I'm going to saute the croquettes and just kind of make them brown. After I dredge them, I'm just going to roll them in some breadcrumbs, and then they're going to go into the hot oil. And then I'm going to stick them in the oven to really finish them off. And I'm going to make a little bit of gravy for them out of some of the chicken stock that we made the other day, so that we may actually get like a bonus video. Okay, so now I have made in my life, I don't even know how many croquettes. It is, like I said, the ultimate cheap recipe. I have made it with beans and leftover rice. I've made it with little bits of leftover flounder. I've made it with like chicken, like I'm doing now. I've made it with, oh, there's the oven. I've made it with, I mean, literally anything you can possibly imagine. In fact, the funny thing is when I was vegan and actually macrobiotic, we used to make croquettes all the time. They were a great way of using up leftover rice. And I am a big fan of this kind of cone-shaped croquette. Boy, that's really smoking over there. And you'll see why in just a minute. Again, we're not really drowning them in breadcrumbs. We just want the breadcrumbs to kind of protect them. Let me see if I can find my... Yes, the issues with live television, guys. Okay, so see, by doing this, by making them kind of a cone shape, I can do that. So I'm just going to keep making croquettes, putting them in the oil, and flipping them. You don't want to make them too big. You want them to really cook through. I have some leftover mashed potatoes, which I know sounds kind of redundant because I'm using potatoes in the croquette mix. But trust me, because I'm going to make gravy, it's going to be like absolutely delicious. So I'm putting that croquette in, and then I'm going to flip this one on its other side. And I'm just going to keep doing that. And then these are going to just go in the oven. And they don't have to go in very long because everything's really already cooked. You're really just kind of heating up the leftover mixture. So I'm going to make these. I'm not going to try and do a fast forward. We know what happens when I try that. And then I'm going to put you guys on pause while I make them, and I will come back and show them to you when I'm putting them on the cookie sheet, like this, like I'm actually doing right now. All right, guys, I'm going to rinse my hands, I'm going to put you on pause, and then I'm going to take you off pause when they're all done. So hold on. All right, we're back. And as you can see, I had 2 croquettes that broke, and that's okay. It's not a big deal. There's nothing about croquettes. Croquettes aren't fussy food at all. They're really very down home. You know, they're one of those things like meatloaf. Everybody's grandmom probably had a croquette recipe back in the day because it was a great way to use up whatever you had when you didn't want to waste food. I did have to add some more oil to the pan. As you can see, being a true Italian, I do not buy olive oil in jars. I buy olive oil in an oil can. It's the way you know someone is Italian, is look in their cabinet, and if there's in the bottom of the cabinet a paper towel that looks oily or a plate and there is a giant can of olive oil sitting on it, they're Italian. Oh, I had another croquette break. Oh no. That's okay. Even if the croquettes break, I'm still just going to put them in the oven because that, with some gravy on that, that's still going to taste super yummy. That one doesn't want to stand up. And I'm actually going to turn off the heat. Now guys, the oven has come up to 350. So when this last croquette is finished, we're just going to put it on this plate here with a little bit of parchment paper. These are all going to go into the oven for, I don't know, I'm going to say like 20 to 30 minutes. They don't need a lot of time. I'm probably going to see, when I start to see these ones that broke brown a little bit, that's when I'll know that the croquettes are finished. I'm going to make a gravy to go with this, so I think that I'm going to give you guys a bonus video, and I'm going to show you how to make gravy using the chicken stock that we made yesterday in the, 65-second recipe that I did yesterday. Or not yesterday, sorry, that was the other day, but seriously, how funny was that? All right, so we have our beautiful croquettes, as you can see. And by the way, croquettes do not have to be a particular shape. You could have done these as patties if you wanted to them. It's fine. And, I added potatoes to this, but potato croquettes really are just basically potato pancakes. So I'm going to put these on the top rack in here. Like I said, 20, 30 minutes. I'm really going to look at how the ones that broke are browning, and that's going to be my decision. And I will see you guys in the next video. I'm going to make some gravy.